Hi everyone, and welcome to the channel about kit cars and other car topics. And yes, we have gotten over 1 million views. In fact, that was a few months ago, so now we're even more than 1 million views. And we have reached 9,000 subscribers, which I really appreciate. I wanted to thank everybody for that. And I know there's a lot of people that watch my channel that don't subscribe, and it's not a big deal to just hit that button. It kind of helps the channel out, makes things go further out into the internets. And it's kind of funny because every video in the beginning I used to be like, welcome to the channel about kit cars and other car topics, and if you like it, please subscribe, blah, blah, blah. And I finally kind of just gave up after a while because I tried to do a big push a while back, and there was no push in numbers. I didn't see any results from that. So I kind of was just like, whatever, it's going to do what it does. But if you're enjoying the content, I'd appreciate hitting a like and subscribe and the bell notification and all that stuff. That'd be great. Now, the one thing I'll say is my content has got a little bit smaller lately in the sense that I don't have as much videos coming out. And part of that is, I want to create better content, but also part of that is, how much driving around do you want to see of me testing the car? I don't know. To me, that's not too, important, but I know there's a lot of other channels that do that kind of stuff, and I personally don't watch those videos when they're doing that, so that's my thing. Maybe I'm wrong. People want to see it, but I'll definitely do some stuff, but I want to make it somewhat meaningful myself. That's how I feel about it. But in any case, so channel's going well. Content's getting a little slim just because I'm kind of in these catch-22 right now, kind of doing a few things. But once I get hopping back on the body work, I think we're going to see a lot more content because there is a lot to do. In fact, it's funny because when I'm looking at the list of stuff I need to do, most of it is after the body's off the car, how much work I have to do. In fact, putting in pinholes and stuff like that for the roll bar through the waterfall, like stuff like that needs to be done. The whole interior needs to be done. All the wiring needs to be redone in its permanent home, which I can't do while the body's on. And I got to do the air conditioner. Can't do that while the body's on. You could. It'd be impossible, and you'd throw your back and neck out, which for me, that's an issue. So I'm not going to do that. So there's just tons of stuff that can be done, but after I'm done with the body work and the car, the body's off the car. There's a bunch of pans that I'm going to be changing off the bottom of the car, new gasket seals, stuff like that. And I'm not going to do that until I have my first oil change to get rid of the break-in oil and put in the new oil. And so I'm waiting to get to about 400 miles, and right now I'm at 150 miles. So things are going well. And it's kind of funny because, I'll be like, oh man, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to put 60 miles on the car today. And then I'll get into a situation where I feel a lot of hesitation going on. And then I feel like, I better start hovering back towards the house. And, because there's just no way to pull this car. It's too low to the ground. And if you put a strap on the car and you're pulling it behind something, if it did get stalled and I couldn't get it back home, you'd tweak the whole front grille, like, 2,500 pounds being towed on a thing. It would just tweak that grille. So I'm being very cautious about what I'm doing. And of course, I'll get 30 miles in and then I'll bail, a chicken out. Yes, I said it. I'm chickening out. So, but in general, it's going pretty good. And so would I like to get more miles on it quicker? Yes. But, when I'm going to do body work, I got to take the headlights off, and so now it's not drivable. There's all these, again, catch-22s going back and forth that kind of stall the process. And of course, my business, I got multiple businesses, and I'm a one-man operation, and they've all taken off. And shockingly, after everything that's going on in the world, I'm kicking ass right now, and I'm so grateful for that. And at the same time, I'm such a project-oriented, bulldoze until it's finished, that it's like, oh man, I just want to get this car done and forget about work. But that's not reality, and I can't do that. So today we're going to be putting on some mirrors. I found some cool mirrors from another company that actually work on the car, unlike the factory delivered mirrors that came with the car. I'm a little annoyed about that. So pay all this money, it doesn't actually functionally work. And so anyways, we're going to put those on today and then see where we go from there. All right, so I got these new mirrors, which are really nice and kind of modern, but fits kind of the modern chop top, if you will, of the car. And so what's cool about these, this is Vision Hot Rod Concepts. What's cool about these is it's fully solid. So if you want to shave it this way or shave it that way or whatever to fit the car, you can, to get whatever angle you need to get on the car. And I've also kind of sanded this down to fit the curvature, and you could see, you know, where I've been putting it, fit the curvature here so it, you know, fits perfectly. And then what you do is then drill in your what are they calling it here? Oh, and then you actually put in one of these inserts into, you put two of them actually into the side, and then you make two holes in there, and then you bolt it in. So we're gonna get some finalization on placement, and then hopefully move forward on poking some holes and putting these on. So I got my mirrors all kind of dialed in, and I got some little punch holes there for me to drill through. Got two on that side. Got this horrible template that they give you, and kind of marked my bits out so they only go so far, and we are going to try to drill this thing as straight as possible. Alright, got my parts recessed in, and I have my little template of where to pop the holes into the car, and then you use these little quarter 20s in here, and we should be good to go. There you have it. We have mirrors. Last thing I got to do is pop a mirror up there, and we should be fully able to see everything. And then we could actually get some mileage on this thing and get a tune on it and put it through its paces. So I'm going to start working on the side panels, and to do that I need to remove the light, so these can't be permanently wired. I got to have disconnects on this just temporarily so I can get this off and on, or possibly permanently. We'll see how that goes, but it's still going to be temporary for this part of the build. So I'm going to take all these connectors off and then remove this light. All right, so we got the hood on, and of course, as you saw me trying the other side, I was trying to put the side panel on, and there's just a lot of little nuances that this is one of those things that you got the grille, you got the valance, you got the actual body of the car, and you got the hood, and so there's 4 interactions. Not only do you have that, but the official place that they tell you to put the brake lines has the brake lines coming out over here instead of over there. Well, why would you tell me to do that? And so, you know, I'm looking at stuff like this is not that bendable to like crank it and put it around and through the, maybe it is, I don't believe so. If the shank was back further, you could probably do it easily, but these are things that just, you know, frustrate me. And you know, there's no way to like take it all in at once and figure this stuff out. Like, you just find out when you find out, and it is what it is. But so I called up my buddy Greg, and I was just like, man, I've tried 3 or 4 times to like, hey, I'm going to do the side panels today, and I'm just going to take my time, and I'm going to muscle my way through it, and I'm going to get it done. And no, it's just not happening. And so Greg's been on a work trip for like 2-3 months, and he's finally back. And I said, hey man, I need you to come down here and help me out with this, because I'm just knocking my head against the wall, and we need to get this thing done right, and I don't want to screw it up. So he's going to come over sometime soon, and we're going to figure this out, and I am very grateful for that. The other thing that I'm going to work on, hopefully in the meantime, is I heard that you could strap this and bend it into shape and then stick it out in the heat for a few days, and it should like morph. So this isn't actually happening right now. I'm just kind of like screwing around with it. But I'm going to try to do that and get that happening. And what I do want to do though is I want to put like a brace piece in here, so I'm not getting like divots, if you will, where the straps are pulling. So I have that at work, and I'm going to grab that and bring that back. And then I also have some other side panels. And what's crazy is my side panels before were way short. I mean, like, way short. And my grill was only a 1/4 inch away from the shocks. I mean, it wasn't like 3-4 inches out. You can't do that. And so I got these other side panels that are longer, and I already trimmed them once to get like really close, and now they're like 3-4 inches longer than they were before. How's that possible? I have no freaking clue how that's possible. So I'm going to grab my old side panels and I'm going to bring them back and see if those are even, you know, closer to this. Whatever's the least amount of work. I mean, it might be the same amount of work, whatever. But I noticed like the new side panel, this curve here is not even like, it's nowhere even close. I mean, it's just not. And so it's just stupid. It's stupid stuff like that. The other thing I had to do is, you know, when you take the headlights off, the wires have to come through this little hole. So you can't actually put like a weather pack on there. You have to have individual wires. And so I got some temporary, you know, push connectors on there. And I got that all wired up. So at least if I needed to start the car, drive it around, these are not going to short out. So that's good. But the hood's just laying on there. And of course, I have a towel sitting in there so the brackets don't rest on anything. And of course, that's laying on my drivetrain. And so the one thing I'll say about some of this stuff, and this is mainly because I work so many hours and then come back and everything's kind of discombobulated and scattered, is it's really easy for me to forget that that towel is sitting here. And I could accidentally start the car and just cause all sorts of havoc, just getting chewed up into the belt and all that stuff. And so in this case, I've physically come over here and I've taped off the key to just make sure that I'm not doing something stupid. Again, very easy to forget when you go to work and you bust your ass for a 40-hour week and come home one night and go, oh, you know what? I need to move the car, and accidentally do something. So just trying to make sure that I'm not doing anything crazy. And I'm already starting to see a tinge of brake dust on my wheels, which is crazy. They've been perfect looking for the last 2 years. Now they're all dingy. So there's lots to do. And, you know, I'm going to wait for Greg and keep the lights off and everything at this point. And hopefully he comes this week and we kick some ass and we're good to go. I get those panels in, and then it's time to start sanding everything, trying to get the trunk figured out, you know, fix some issues like this. You know, this door is sagging a little bit, so when it comes back, it'll be better. But I think there's still a little something going on there I got to fix. You know, the mirrors are looking good. Yeah, it's time to just start kicking ass, because I was looking at it and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to have this car, you know, I'm going to push and try to get this car done by the end of the year. And the weeks are just going by and nothing's getting done. I'm barely getting miles on the car. You know, I can't get the tuner for another month or two when I thought I was going to get them within a week. And so it's just like I was going to have the car tuned and just put a crap load of miles on it and then do the body work. And now, like, I'm switching the body work and we're not tuning for another month or so. And so I'm just like, it's my schedules. You know, when you start relying on other people and their schedules, it just jacks my whole idea of what I'm going to be doing and how I'm approaching it. Now, if I was retired or super rich with a trust fund, then none of these issues would be happening, because I'd just do whatever I want to do and it wouldn't matter. So, but that's just not how it is. So everything's going all right, but it's a little slower than usual. But it is cool driving the car, and it's starting to come to life a little bit. And I'm excited. You know, I'm getting a little more excitement lately, but I am frustrated, and I'm not sure if I'm going to hit a deadline of making it to the end of this year. It might be February before I'm like buffing the car down and get it all finalized. So we will see. But thanks for watching. Thanks for checking out the content. Please subscribe if you're willing to. And We'll hit it up next time. Have a good one.